Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing brainwaves. Okay, let's test the gameplay. Camera should be on. Let's try camera again. Okay, there we go. Oh, wow. Doesn't look bad. We're getting ready to broadcast here, like in about 1 minute. And so far everything looks good. We're going to be playing on Lichess tonight, by the way. Welcome to the chat room. It's always a lot of fun. And we got sound, we got lights, we got everything. Jack, oh wow, man, you're here. Cool. Well, you're here really on time tonight. We're just starting up. Like, I got the starting soon here, 48, 46 seconds, but we can get started early. Brainwaves are working great tonight. Great. Well, I hope you're doing good there. It must be pretty early in Serbia, right? I mean, sun's a lot different there than it is here. In fact, I'm getting infrared radiation through the window. At this time of night, I want to turn on the air conditioner really quick. Be right back because this thing, I don't know why. At this time of night, I get infrared radiation through the window, and it really heats up the room. Let's see. Oh, my assistant producer is telling me something about my glasses. What do you want me to do with the glasses? Take them off. Okay, they're saying that my glasses are causing some sort of a glare on the cameras. So, 3 a.m., yeah. Well, you're really ambitious. Get up at this time of night and do some chess. So, I don't know. We got the brainwaves on. You might be able to see some. Oh, wait a second. Where are the brainwaves? Let me get them up there. They were there. Now they disappeared. Let me get them up there again. Okay, let me see what happened here. What? Let me make sure I'm broadcasting brain. Okay. Wait. Almost. They're almost there. Here they go. Okay, begin now. Okay, they should be going now, right? I'm gonna have to restart now the edit scene. It was a little bit. Let me restart them here. Okay, there they go. And now I just got to get the brainwaves on there. Okay, so we got brainwaves. Ooh, wow, we got sound. We got chat. We got everything we need. So I'm going to save the scene. Get that thing down out of the way. So I guess we're all set now. We're all set to do some chess. This is great. I think we're going to be able to have some really good results. Okay, I'm gonna go over to lead chess. Let me get this. I'm gonna just put it on starting soon when I get the lead chess on. It'll only take like 30 seconds. Gameplay on. Okay, lead chess. And here we go. Create a game. Okay, I got a lot of chatters and they're always giving me advice, so I'm gonna play a casual game where they don't, I don't have to worry about chatters destroying the rating of my opponent by giving me advice. So be willing. You guys can give advice. It's no problem. Not that I'm really looking at it to tell you the truth, but okay. So this is a kind of a non-standard opening, they call that, and it's hard to know how to react to that. I guess we'll just come out kind of like with a modified Carol Can defense, they might call that. The knight's playing a big position there, so we'll just go ahead and get ready to trade him off. I want to move this pawn out as soon as possible. I couldn't yet because of that situation with that knight. I'm going to bring this knight in here just so that I can move this pawn up. I can almost do it. I have to take his knight first, all right, and then I can do it. I lose my queen on the... Well, I don't lose my queen. I'll just do that. I don't care if I trade queens early in the game like this. I'll maybe just trade a queen early. Move the pawn up. I think this is going to work out okay. He's got his queen out here in a kind of a forward position, but he doesn't... Phone 2 disconnected. I hope that doesn't worry my broadcast at all. I just got a message from in my earphones about phone 2 disconnected. Oh well. Okay, let's see what we can do here now. So I can put him in check, but it's kind of worthless because he just moves a pawn up or something. I'm going to get ready to castle. I'm going to move this out here and then bring my knight up. And I might even castle queenside. I mean, it's possible. Why not? I'm ready to castle kingside. And thinking about maybe castling on the other side if it behooves me. Now that he's got his knight out there, I might just go over there. I mean, I brought the bishop out there when his knight was back there, but now it's a little bit different. I'm actually pinning the knight. 346 to 411. We both missed what they call a temple there, but no big deal. I'm going to move this knight up because at this point, but then I would have to, I'm going to castle. I'm going to castle because I don't think he's going to get a really strong kingside attack out of this. I don't see how he can do it. I might be wrong. And we got 3 minutes. Oh, the brainwaves are looking great tonight, by the way. They're really spaced out. Oh, he castled queenside. Okay, so here we go. This is looking interesting. I got to get my queen kind of like out of the way here. This prevents the knight from coming forward, and then I can bring my queen out. The two knights are protecting each other against the rook, so even if he moves the bishop out, I can still move this queen out. You know, I can already bring the queen out because then when I bring this pawn up, his bishop will have to come back to here, and I'll get something going, I think. Because that pawn's usually weak. This is interesting. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to kind of like wind down the clock. Already thinking about winding down the clock because I can take this pawn and with a knight here, it affects this square. So I can like do some trading here and then double the pawns. I don't know how much that's going to do me in the end game, but I mean, it might make him think a lot, win a little time on the clock. Everything's going to come down to the clock, I think, on this game. It looks pretty even. We'll see on the Stockfish. We'll do a post-mortem after this ends. And just to see. Well, we got our... getting a little gel here. I got gel from the brainwave stuff. I can't see. I can't take the knight now. I'm going to centralize a rook and see what he does. Because that rook is blocked by the pawn. It's just totally defensive. Okay, now he can start to bring that pawn up, but I can take his bishop, and we'll see what happens here. This could be interesting. Wow. It's looking quite weird here. If he brings this pawn up, I might take here. Oh, that was different. I might just take this. And then when he takes that bishop, oh, then I'm in trouble. I guess I screwed up. Oh, no. Oh, man. I guess I kind of like lost big. No, I didn't lose big time, but I lost the exchange. That's not too cool. I totally miscalculated there. I don't know what I was thinking about. I kind of like was lost in space, you could say. But we can still pull this out. We're only the exchange down right now, as far as I can see. And we maybe win on the clock. It's 2 minutes against 2 minutes. If he starts overthinking about how to turn his advantage into a big win, I can still win this game. He can attack on this last file, but it's going to take him. I was going to say it's going to take him a long time, but not necessarily, right? If he does that. Oh boy. I think I'm losing big time here. I can take this bishop at any point, by the way. I'm going to do that. He's going to have to lift a rook. And maybe by the time he does that, I can trade his queen off. Or maybe not. I might be completely lost here already. He lifts a rook. He can't lift either rook, though. I can maybe trade the queen off by bringing her up to here. He can't lift either rook because that rook because of the pawn and that rook because of the knight. Oh, I'm starting to win a little bit on the clock. This is going to be tight. Look at those brainwaves, how synchronized they are. This is tight. Oh, he moved. Okay, so I'm going to just move what I was thinking about doing. Because in any case, I can take this pawn. If he takes me with the trade, I might just be able to win on time. Yeah, that pawn was really bothering me. The knight defends here and attacks the queen, and the knight is protected by the queen, so it looks like a solid move. The knight did a good job right there. Now maybe, no, that wouldn't work. I got all my pieces really coordinated right now, by the way. I'm just going to have to play for the clock now. He's got 47 seconds. Can he do anything? I'm just going to keep my pieces kind of like basically like that and play for the clock. The knight is protected by the queen. So and now I don't know. Oh, that was bad. Bad. Really screwed up. Really lost. Basically lost the game. It's kind of like almost checkmate right now. If he moves a knight over, he moves a thing over there. Oh, he put me in check like that. Now it's going to checkmate me in a different way. Wow, look at the brainwaves though. Is that checkmate? Oh man. Did you see how low the brainwaves went on the checkmate? I guess I got a little bit depressed by that. That was just a warm-up game. Um, we're gonna do another one here because that was kind of like, oh well. As you can see, even Satjack is saying, you win some and lose some, right? But that was fun. Let's try another one, shall we? That was okay. I enjoyed that first one. What did you guys think about that one? I'm not going to do the postmortem because it was kind of a depressing game. It's like when I get a really depressing game like that, I prefer to move on and we'll do a postmortem on a little bit more of an uplifting game. Okay, now that is another, we're getting all kinds of these irregular openings tonight. I guess that's the reverse grab, they call that. I might just freak them out and castle queenside on this because when they play that, they're expecting me to castle kingside, I think. And I don't want to move this. I'm going to really freak them out here because I'm going to move that pawn up against that bishop. Move this bishop out, and I'm going to bring the queen out. Yeah, I'm going to castle queenside. Yeah, I'm going to bring the knight up into here because it really helps with this pawn here and also helps to support this pawn. He's going to castle queenside too, apparently. So here we go. I'm going to support this pawn advance here with this pawn. I'm not going to get ready to castle too quick. I'm going to already advance the pawn. And now we should be able to do something. Hopefully we can do something dastardly against him. I love that word in chess. Can do something dastardly. This looks kind of dastardly. No, not really. He'll get in the... I'm going to castle queenside. See what he can do about that. Okay, I'm going to bring this rook over here. I don't know what he's doing. Okay, so this looks good. This looks good and unexpected for him. He's a little bit ahead on the clock. Let's see if he takes a little bit of time on his clock right now. I think he was thinking, oh, he's got like a really good advance there. But I got a feeling, yeah, I thought he was going to do that. I got a feeling if I do this, it looks strong. I could be completely wrong about that, but it looks like it counteracted a lot of stuff he was thinking about. I'm going to drive the knight out next with this pawn. I think this is going to work out. I think we're going to have an okay time with this. Pretty sure. Oh, look at the brainwaves, how they're going up and down in a really stalwart way. Okay, I'm going to advance the queen in this position because it protects the knight and does a lot of stuff and keep these pawns intact here. And right now, this knight can come up into here attacking that rook and that bishop. Looks like a strong move because this pawn is very well anchored right there. Now if I could just figure something out that would help me. My rooks are not really doing a lot right now. I'm going to bring this rook over here because it has an open file. And he took me there. I'm going to take him with my pawn. I know I double my pawns here, but I don't want to lose that pawn. Oh, and I lost it anyway. I didn't even see that. I don't know. This might work. The only reason this works is because that space is protected by the knight. Oh, he got my rook down there. Man, I'm really not calculating good tonight. Wow. Oh, I'm gonna resign. That was too bad. Give me a break. Wow. Um, any reactions about that? What do the viewers think about that situation, eh? Okay, yeah, let's look at a Bobby Fischer masterpiece. This is a good a good moment after losing like that was kind of like a Bobby Fischer masterpiece. I think my opponent um played like Bobby Fischer in that case. Okay, let's analyze this. This looks like fun. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing I always do. I'm going to oh look, there's Bobby Fischer there. Really young. Looking at this game. I guess this was, oh yeah, look at this, 1956. So that's basically Bobby Fischer at the age of this game. Okay, so kind of gives you an idea how old he was when he was playing this game. Okay, so I'm going to look at the view and what does that add? Close the ad, I guess. Okay, and I'm going to bring this, I'm going to import this over to minus 20%. I got my brainwaves are going to go off really soon. Hold on just a second. I got to get adapter. Hold on just a second. I got to bring an adapter in here. There, I got the brainwaves functioning again. I've had 40% on that before I started, and I thought that it would be good as sufficient, but as it turns out, that battery in that cell phone is about shot, I guess, but now I got it plugged into an adapter. Okay, so I'm going to take this over and import it into the Lichess. Go back to the Lichess here. And on the Lichess, I can just go to Tools, Import Game, and paste the PG in right there. Paste the PG in right there with Control V. I'm going to request a computer analysis and import the game. See what we get here. Okay, so this is a David Byrne game. David Byrne against Bobby Fischer. And by the way, we have the black here. Am I supposed to flip the board on this or what? Can I play this with the board like that or should I flip it? This is Bobby Fischer against David Byrne. I'm looking here. You guys are expecting. Okay, so it's got to be blacks winning because look it down here at the graph. Um, Bobby Fischer's going to win this game, so we got to play black like this. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this, shall we? This is going to be very interesting. This is the only channel you have on Twitch where you have the brainwaves in real time. You can see them right up here. And as I analyze it, my brainwaves are going to pass through this band. They're going to be broadcast to my cell phone and then into Twitch for you to see. And people, I know there's a lot of people who analyze games, but I'm the only one that analyzes them with brainwaves. So let's see how this goes. It's going to be quite interesting. I'm going to get this board a little bit smaller on my screen so you guys can see the graph at the same time as the board, if that's possible. Let me see if I can do that. If I could do that, it would be great. If I can't do that, just bear with me here a second. I'm going to try to get the graph in there. I don't know. That's the one thing that I think Lichess is not exactly user friendly. Oh, there it is. There's just when I was saying it was not user friendly, but it got friendly really fast. So that's good. Okay, we're excellent now. We're going to analyze this game. This is a Bobby Fischer game. I'm going to go back here where you can see, where everybody can see what kind of a game this is. I'm going to scroll down so you can see, or scroll up or scroll back. I'm going to show you a little bit about this game, the history of this game, so you know what I'm analyzing. Make it more interesting. Okay, so this is Donald Byrne. For those of you who don't know, he was the American champion at that time. He was the top player in the United States in 1956. And he was playing, so Robert James Fischer, and look, this was his age. I'm going to scroll down so you can see how old he was. That's how old he was when he played this game, 1956. It was in 1972, 1973, was it, that he played Boris Spassky, was it, for the World Championship in Reykjavik? So this was 1956. This was about 17 years before he played that World Championship game. He was very young. And it says here it was played in New York, USA. And he's playing, for those of you who study openings, it's called the Grunfeld defense. 3 knights variation, Hungarian attack. But anyway, white is attacking, Fischer's defending, and the attack apparently didn't work. I'm going to try to click out of that exercise, and when I do that, I'll probably get like 10 more. And here we go. Let's analyze this thing. Wow, they have a lot of kibitzers here analyzing. Well, here's one more kibitzer going to do it. So I'm going to go back to the game and see how we can analyze this. So first of all, we got David Byrne moved his knight out. And this being 1956, that's according to that era, that was a very excellent move. Fischer's getting a little bit cocky there, right? He's saying, well, okay, you're not going to put a pawn in the center and you're going to do this. I don't know if you'd call that it's a little bit more modern than what you see from like when Morphy was playing and everything. They never moved the knight out. They'd always move a pawn. So Fischer's saying, well, if you can do that, I can do that. And now, yeah, Stockfish is cool. 98%. I didn't even notice that. 98%. Holy Toledo, that is really high. And I don't know if it's a conspiracy or what, but burn is the two figures reversed. Instead of 98, he's 89. See what you can make of that, eh? Look at the stockfish graph. So those of you who have followed my channel, you know that I like to talk about the land as being the white part up there in the stockfish graph, and the ocean as being the black part, the gray part. And here you can see that the land is got a few foothills, and then it tries to do a little continental edge mountain here, but it can't quite rise up. It's basically an even opening. And then Fisher brings it down and then way down deep. Have you ever seen the movie The Abyss? This is like The Abyss where they got the submarine that goes down, 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 really deep. That was a great movie, by the way, and they say that they're going to come out with a sequel. Not a sequel. They're going to do this, basically release the same movie, but in a remastered version very soon. I love that movie. I thought it was very good. The ending was horrible, though. Like, he gets down to the bottom. Oh, we got a first-time chat. To see your calculated chance to win the current game. Oh, I didn't know that. Control W, I can really do that? Can I do that with this, even when I'm analyzing a game? I don't know. Oh, crap. Um, but that's okay. I guess I went out of that and I'm going to try to get myself back to where I was. Let me see. I pushed Control W and now I'm like in limbo here. Oh, don't bear with me here. I'll get back really quick. I'm going to go here and then forward or back or no, I got two screens exactly the same now. And I kind of like lost my maybe if I just go back and back. Okay, I'm just going to go back to I got a follower. Give me a break. Right in the middle of all these conundrums and you're seeing I don't know if this is like if I'm showing you a lot of dexterity, digital dexterity, or showing you a lot of the opposite, but I'm going to go back to Leaf Chess and see if we can get this game back up. Okay, so I'm going to re-import the game. I think I still have it on Control C, Control V, so import game. But this is fun. This is all part of the process, believe me. Life is about process. Don't worry about reaching the result. Worry about having a nice process. And this has been a fun process so far. I hope you all agree. So here we go. We're back. We're back analyzing this game. And I notice we have a few extra viewers right now. So this is so weird. And now when I after now I've got two screens exactly the same in leeches. Oh man, this is cracking me up. Because I wanted to go back. Oh, I can do that. I can click right here and go back to the original thing that we were looking at. Okay, so like I say, I don't know if I'm showing ineptitude or prowess or like I'm a total I don't know hacker, but we're doing okay. We've got the Lee chess game, and now we got the historical thing here that I'm going to explain. So this is the first time in history, I believe, that this game has been analyzed with the brainwaves. Okay, you're seeing them right up here. Delta, gamma, theta, alpha, beta, gamma. They're all right there. And we're going to analyze this game. Donald Byrne, who was the American champion at that time, against Robert James Fisher. And it was played in 1956 when Fisher was this age. I'm going to scroll down so you can see his age. That's how old Fisher was during this game. So it gives you a little appreciation for Fisher, who grew up, by the way, without computers. Like you guys all have computers nowadays, and you think learning chess is so easy. You know how Bobby Fischer did it? He was living in New York City and he used to subscribe to magazines from Russia, and he couldn't read Russian either, but he could try to work himself through the explanations. So, he was playing at much of a disadvantage compared to people today, but he still managed to play very well. So let's go ahead and click through this game and see what the Stockfish does. As Satjack pointed out, Fisher's playing at 98% accuracy at that age. Okay, so the knight comes out. The knight comes out to match. Excellent, interesting move. Fisher playing very sharp. Wow, it's like this is just like everybody's just like showing, well, you're going to play a little bit different. I'm going to play different to boot. Byrne comes out with a pretty, I don't know if that's a great move, but it doesn't edge anything on the Stockfish. Fisher comes out very strong, very confident. Look at that. A pawn thrust right up the middle. Byrne comes up attacking the square with his queen. And Fisher's an experienced player even at that age. He's saying, well, he's attacking my pawn several times. I'll just kick him out of there. If he takes me, whatever. Um, this is interesting. Stockfish is saying to bring the bishop out to attack the queen. Do you see this white arrow? That's Stockfish's suggestion. And Fisher just decided to move the pawn up, which was one of his inaccuracies, which, by the way, detracted from his 100% evaluation, and Stockfish is still giving him 98% on this game. So Byrne makes a very interesting move. And do you see this? This is the opening book repertoire of this is the Stockfish repertoire, showing that there's a whole lot of games like this. And still quite a few, not quite so many. There's actually only 3 games in the Lichess repertoire for this move. Fisher, I think, is planning to move the knight here. And he probably doesn't want to block his queen forever. He's probably thinking about kicking the queen out, gaining a tempo, and then going on from there, I imagine. Let's see what he does. Okay, so yeah, that's what he did. And you see this brown line over here on the Stockfish? A lot of people don't really understand how to follow this, but just as a little educational side here, that brown line is where we are in the game. And you can see Byrne still has the advantage a little bit, but about to fall off into the depths here. Byrne makes his queen move that brings him a little bit further down. Let's see. Let's just click back to see where he should have gone. If I move the pawn, if I move up here, it normally shows. Oh, because I don't have this clicked on. You have to click this little button if you want to see the next move, if you want them to show you the next move. Okay, so the queen should have come back to here. There was a little arrow showing the queen should have come back to there. And Byrne didn't do that. He moved the queen up, right up into there. Okay, so we're getting close to some drop-offs here. So far, it looks like a kind of a standard opening, and we do have some other games that have been played on this on Lichess. And obviously, Fischer was not playing on Lichess. Oh, and so Fischer does a completely different kind of a move. He does that because he's just playing the normal, and that's good to do. Play what you think according to the normal opening rules of the game. He needs to connect his rooks and his queen, and he's got to get his bishop out of there. And the bishop would be blocking here. The bishop would be blocking here, and he can't go there. So Fischer, I think, did a great move there. Oh, look at the brown line. Suddenly Byrne, he's got like really dropped off right there. And if you look at this positionally and everything, does anyone want to give a guess as to it why it dropped off right there? Can you guess why? I'm just going to think about opening rules. And it's not the fact that he moved a piece twice, which is a bogus rule, by the way. Doesn't matter how many times you've moved a piece. If you moved it 2 times, if you moved it 3 times, if you can move it to a better position, move it. Okay, so you don't have to worry about how many times you've moved a piece, really, believe me. But why is that a bad move? Who can figure that out? I mean, I've already got the answer. I'm just asking the Socratic question there. I I would say it's a bad move, you see, because Byrne is very overconfident against this young kid. Um, yeah, okay, when the knight, okay, yeah, you got a point. It hangs. That's a point. Okay, excellent, excellent. But there's another deeper positional point. Okay, Byrne is playing against Fischer, who is this age. I'm going to scroll down so you can see him again. Byrne, who's the American champion, is playing against this kid. And he's thinking, well, he's got his king out here in the center. He's not even close to castling. He's got his rook between his king and his rook. He really should be thinking about getting his king in a safety before he makes. I mean, he's already got this bishop out. It's already commanding a pretty good diagonal. What does it do there? Think about it. What does it do there? Attack the knight that's amply defended? Yeah, that too, exactly. So you see, looking at this in a deeper way, the king is out here like a sitting duck. When you're playing against this kid in 1956, you don't think it's a sitting duck, but he should be getting ready to castle. Yeah, his king is exactly. Sajak, my stalwart observer from Serbia, has got it right exactly. The king is staying too long right there. Exactly. And the bishop makes a pretty what we call a gratuitous move, a move without any effectiveness. So he should have brought his white squared bishop out, followed by castle, exactly. Yeah, bishop to e2 would have been really good. Bishop to e2 would have been good because the bishop can't go here or here, and here it's not good either. There's a possibility here. But e2 would have been really good because at e2, as Sajak says, it would have freed up the knight to come out. So Byrne made his first mistake. That is a definite mistake of Byrne. Like if you hover over here, that's another cool thing you can do on Lichess. You can hover over here and see where the mistakes and stuff are. So you see, I'm clicking. Oh, zero. It's not a mistake. Byrne made zero mistakes. It's a blunder. Byrne made two blunders. That was his first blunder. And it's a blunder not because he moved his bishop from here to here. You understand? It's a blunder because he failed to get ready to castle. Now, it doesn't really matter. But the bishop was actually posted good here. Maybe Byrne thought it was good to attack the knight. But the main thing is he's got to get this bishop out. He's got to get ready to castle. I always make that same mistake myself a lot of times. Um, when you're playing at high levels in chess, you got to basically follow the rules. At the lower levels, you can just like say, well, I'm going to attack him here. I'll move my bishop out here. I'll attack this knight and blah, blah, blah. But you are flouting the normal rules of chess, which is to get your king, to get your rooks, to get your king out of the middle, and to get your rooks connected and to develop this last bishop. So he flouted the rules and got punished by Stockfish. Even now, how many years later? From 1956 up to this date? What is that? Um, 44 years plus 24. How much is that? 44, 68 years later, Stockfish is punishing him. Oh, wow. Can you believe that? So now I just click the next move. So Fisher, can you believe this? Look at that. Look at that. And look at my brainwaves, by the way. Look at them before they disappear. They went really high and flattened out. Now, people think this thing is fake, but it's not. This is a real Muse 2. I got the real, it's called the Mind Monitor. I got the gel. I wash my head with alcohol before I apply the gel and everything. You're really watching brainwaves in real time here. And that is just an incredible move. It looks like a sacrifice, right? He moves the knight out. Just want to get, he just wants to get crap, man. This just freaks me out. I mean, I am. Did you see that? Look, it's going off. Look at the alpha. The alpha went up so high. This is incredible. I love analyzing these games by Fisher because it just wreaks havoc on my brainwaves. It's just totally incredible. Wow, I gotta let them settle down. Let me let them settle down just for a second. That was entirely incredible. So Fisher, this young kid. Let me just browse back here really quick. There he is. That's the age he's playing this game. After Byrne makes that blunder, and Stockfish is telling us that's a blunder. Fisher immediately does this knight sacrifice, and you just screwed up, buddy. I can sacrifice a knight here and still beat you. This is incredible. Okay, let's click the next move and see what happens. The queen went back. So let's see what happens if white takes the knight. Okay, I move the queen back and let's see what happens if white takes the knight. If white takes the knight, Fisher goes ahead. 2.9. Can anybody see why? What is what is black's big move here? Why did Fisher even do that? Does anybody see? I know I start to see something here with the queen coming out here. Check. That's a very strong move, except the queen is here, but bringing the knight up first would block the possibility and allow for this, and then the knight has to come, but the knight comes back blocking this. But wait a second, and he can't wait until later because this pawn will come up, protected by the queen. He can't wait until later. he would have to immediately come up here. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happens. This is beyond my comprehension. Okay, let's see what Sajak is telling us. Oh, the knight was guarding the pawn. That's it. Yeah, the knight was guarding this pawn. So he can just immediately take the pawn. That's what you're telling me? Oh, and when he takes the pawn, he's attacking the queen, right? Ah, I see. So, there was a really good, there was a book I read a long time ago. I think it was this guy, his name was Alakine. Do you pronounce it like that? But he said something like, when your opponent moves a piece, always check to see what the piece was doing before it moved. And then, okay, so that's what we have to do here. Before he moved the knight over there, we have to look, what was the knight doing before it moved? It was guarding this pawn. So you're telling me, okay, I'm just going to do this hypothesis like a thought experiment. That's what Fisher's supposed to do? Yes, you're right. Sedgwick, you're very correct. You see, it actually went up a little bit, or stayed about the same at 2.8. And what is black threatening now? I still don't get it. Okay, so white won a knight. He just took a knight. Black takes a pawn. He wins a pawn. And it's just affected his king is out here exposed. I mean, what's the deal? Queen, oh yeah, you're right. Queen must move. Okay, let's look at this. So queen's gotta move, right? Yeah. If the exactly, the queen is going to lose material if it doesn't move. So we got to figure out where the queen's going to move, right? Yeah, I think you're thinking right. The queen's got to move. So the knight comes out right there. Now the queen's got to move. Now the queen can move to a lot of different places, but I'm still thinking about if the queen moves, what is black threatening? I think black is threatening this check because this knight now is guarding these two squares. Let's see where the queen can go. I still can't fathom it. Fisher's playing at a level higher than myself because I can't fathom what he's doing here. That's why that BG5 was a blunder. Yeah, it's hard to see far. Oh, can we turn on the commuter assist? How do we do that? Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's see. Sidejack has a good idea. It's saying that the computer assist, when I put the mouse here, it's saying that black has got the best move is to take this, but that's actually looks like a pretty good move. It forks the queen and the rook, right? And oh, I did it wrong. Let me go back then. You're going to have to teach me how to do this right. So I'm going to go back. When you imported a game, you should have enabled it. Oh, I should have enabled it. Holy crap. I think it's too late now, though. Is there another way? Um, but if he does this, Let's suppose he does that. Then I could still take the queen, and he takes my queen, and let's say I put him in check, and he comes out, and then I take the knight, and then he gets his bishop the hell out of there. I mean, I'm still staying at -3 by all those moves. It's very complicated, but holy Christ, I guess Burns saw all of that and was thinking, I mean, look at the brainwaves, by the way. Did you see how they got totally like synchronized and spaced out? Like I had an insight there. Um, this is like an incredible game. This is a game played by Bobby Fischer against. I'm going to go back here so everybody can see. There's Bobby Fischer at the age he was playing this game. And there's the game right up there. Donald Byrne versus Robert James Fischer. New York, 1956. Okay, so going back here, let's just play it through and see what they did then, because it's hard to analyze everything. Fischer sacrifices his knight, but Byrne, because of all those continuations we just went through, says, wow, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to come back here. If you want to take my knight, go ahead. And Fischer takes the knight, and Byrne retake. So everything looks pretty good for Byrne, except the stockfish is saying it's still way down here. And I believe it's way down there because what I was saying earlier. Byrne made this first blunder by not getting ready to castle. He's still just a little bit behind. He's got to make this move, and then that's 2 moves before he can castle, and he's going to be a little bit slow. Yeah, there. Okay, so I'm going to go back. So after pawn takes pawn, now suddenly there it comes. That must have been pretty devastating to Byrne. Except Byrne has this. See how he just took there and now he's got this fork? Byrne looks pretty darn strong. If I was playing this game, I would be thinking, oh my god, he forked my queen and my rook. I gotta play more like Bobby Fischer if I want to win more games, I guess. So Bobby Fischer comes out saying, well, okay, take my rook if you want to, because I got other stuff that I'm planning against you. Be bringing his queen out to here. And apparently it's just because Bobby Fischer is so smart. He can see that because Burns' king is still a sitting duck out there, it's open to various attacks. Let's see what those attacks are, shall we? So, wow. So Byrne is thinking, I don't want that bishop. I don't want that rook. I got to get my king into safety. This kid is going to wallop me unless I get into safety fast. So he's thinking, I don't even want to take that rook. I want to get my bishop out. And now let's see what Bobby Fischer does. Wow, another surprising move. Comes up there, forks the queen and rook. Wow, and did you see the brainwaves, how they went up? Look at the alpha. The alpha really went way up high. And the delta 2 had like a big peak right now, even just while analyzing. Sometimes I'm just doing a game vicariously, but I still get the same reactions by analyzing that I do when I'm actually playing. Look at that. That's a fork. That's just so amazing. And Byrne has resources though too. He's going, well, you forked me. What is that supposed to be? I never understand that. emoji. Somebody's got to explain that to me someday. If I ever figure that out, I will be enlightened. Be really enlightened. But this looks pretty strong because, they got the bishop attacking. I mean, this white bishop attacking down everything here, and this attacking and also attacking the bishop, the rook, and the knight is hanging. Holy Christ! It's like, let's count up the pieces. So black has 1, 2, 3 minor pieces, the 2 rooks and the queen, and white has 3 minor pieces. He's got his queen under attack. Byrne looks like he's mastering this game, right? Byrne is saying, "You little urchin, I'm coming up here. I'm attacking your queen. You can take my rook if you want to, but I'll take your queen. And if you move your queen out of there, I'm going to take your knight. And the game's all over. The game's all over." That's what Byrne is saying. And how does Fisher respond to that, eh? Does it have anything to do with an attack, maybe, on this with the rooks? I mean, I would do that if I was playing, not because I'm as smart as Bobby Fischer, but I'm just thinking, well, this rook is under attack. Why don't I just slide him over, attack his king? He loses a move at least. I don't know. Let's just see. Let's see what Bobby Fischer did. Oh yeah, you see? Hey, did you see the brainwaves? Wow, they were like peaked right up when I had the insight. They peaked right up. So the the rook comes over there, attacks the king. Not all is lost, and Byrne has several ways to try to defend against that. I'm thinking one of the ways is to bring this bishop back. But that doesn't look too good because if he brings the bishop back, the knight is here. The knight was hanging and everything, but the knight's doing a stalwart position because if he brings his bishop back, the rook comes down here and takes the bishop. Doesn't look good. That doesn't look great for black. So black, I screwed up. I should have said white. Doesn't look good for white. So white could also move the king over here, right? If he brings the king over there, what happens? Black's queen is still under attack. What happens then? I mean, if he slides his king over, black can take this rook and then takes the queen. And then how does the knight here and the rook there do any kind of a checkmate or something? Maybe he could just slide his king over, right? According to the Stockfish, he should slide his king over. And I think he did slide his king over. Yeah. Okay, so he slid his king over. And that's what Byrne did in the actual game. So now we got to figure out what is Bobby Fischer's continuation with his queen hanging, his knight hanging. Can anybody figure this out? I mean, we all would like to play through these classic games and say, well, he did this, he did that, he did the other thing. But here we are at the crux, and what do we say? What do we do? Byrne moved his king over. What does Fischer do in this case? How does he win this game? According to the stockfish, I mean, we're right at this brown line right here. And we're right before this huge abyss where Byrne is going to make this huge new blunder. Fischer's going to make one more move, and then Berner's going to make a huge blunder. What is Fischer's move? Who can tell me? Suppose he takes this. He loses his queen, and how does the knight and the rook checkmate? They can't, right? I don't think he takes that. Suppose, let's just imagine he takes the rook up. Does that do any good? I don't see that it does any good. You know, everybody hates to lose their queen. And Bobby Fischer didn't care about losing his queen as long as he got an advantage. Let's just imagine he loses that queen. Is there any way he can do with his pieces as they are without the queen? Because how could the queen join the attack? The queen can't really move up this file anywhere. It gets taken wherever it goes. And it could come back, I suppose, but if it comes back, he loses this forward knight. And if he loses the forward knight, doesn't look good because he's playing against queen, rook, rook, and bishop against these three pieces and two rooks and a queen. You think he sacks it? He thinks he sacks the queen. I think so too because he can't move it anywhere. And he can't just go ahead and retreat it. I mean, he can't. When I say he can't move it, I mean he can't advance it into a more attacking position. And if he retreats it, he just loses the knight, and then he's really down far in material. So there's got to be something. Oh, wait, I see something. Maybe. Let me see. If he moves the knight up here, he attacks the queen. And then if black takes the queen, knight takes the queen here. And maybe retains his advantage. And if he moves his knight up here and the rook takes the knight, then the queen comes down here, see? So if he moves his knight up here and so let's see. Let's see. That might be it. I'm just thinking that might be it. Let me just see. With what he's supposed to do here. I'm moving the mouse so that Stockfish will hopefully tell us. Stockfish is saying that what Fisher did was brought the bishop back to. Oh, I didn't even see that. Wow, you know, Fisher is like light years ahead. Fisher is just like, wow. That's an amazing move. Look, this bishop is over here pinning the knight against the rook, and Fisher's saying, well, he's not really serving me here. Suppose I bring him back here to attack this bishop. Let's see what happens. So that's what Fisher did. And now you see Byrne has two different options. Byrne can take the queen, which he did, according to this blue arrow, or he can take the knight. He didn't take the knight, he took the bishop. I mean, he took the queen. And by taking the queen, you see he plummeted down. I'm just wondering, suppose he took the knight, which he didn't do, but then um, what the hell? I mean, this is just like totally crazy. Suppose if he does that, then black's supposed to do that. I mean, there's an arrow doing there. I don't get this at all. If he does that, why can't they just take here? He loses the queen, and then what happens? Oh, I didn't even see that bishop down there. Holy, I forgot all about that bishop, and then the bishop takes there, and then the rook takes there, and now you got rook, rook. These guys are light years ahead. I mean, it's kind of cool to play these games, but at the same time, you just see how advanced they are compared to mortals like myself, because it's this bishop down here that makes all the difference through this pawn, you see, through this pawn. So when the queen takes the knight, this takes here, and then you see how that goes? That's just so weird. So the bishop comes back. This is how the game actually went, by the way. Okay, let's see how the game actually went, because this is a pretty interesting game. Fischer, I've seen other games by Fischer where he does this windmill attack, it's called, where the knight just keeps moving around. So Byrne took the queen, and then this bishop attacked the king. The king goes over there. The knight comes there. Fischer loves these windmill attacks. And now there's nothing, there's no move for the king. Nothing to do. He can't even try to take the knight with his queen because it's not in the right line. So the king can only come back, and Fischer takes the pawn, so he wins a little material. The king is in danger again, and Byrne decides to move it over there, and the knight comes back. And now the knight comes back to another position. And the king has to move over. And now the knight. Oh, I was going to say maybe the knight would take the rook, but this young Bobby Fischer has got something even bigger. He takes that. Now the queen really can't take the knight because the knight is protected. The queen comes up there. Now the knight could still take the rook, but it doesn't. The Fischer says, well, I could take your rook, but I might decide to move my rook up here. It's a better move. Now he takes the rook. And now Byrne gives himself an escape hatch over here. Not sure that he really needs an escape hatch, because if the rook comes down, the knight can still move up. Oh, I see, but he's thinking about moving his king up even if he's not in check. Move his king up so to liberate his rook. It's the only way to liberate his rook. And then Fischer says, well, you want to liberate your rook, but you're going to lose that pawn big time. Um, Byrne takes with the knight. The rook comes out. The rook takes the rook. Oh my God, look what's happening now. Byrne is just, I'm surprised he didn't resign. He's got a queen and a knight against all of this. The two rooks basically equal up to a queen, pretty close. And then, I mean, Fischer has a lot more material. Oh, I didn't see that though. So yeah, so it's not as much material as I thought. His rook was hanging. Wow. So you see, even though Fischer sacked his queen, he still has a very difficult road to hoe. Is that how the saying goes? Road to hoe? A lot of people say to haul, but I think it's to hoe. He has a difficult road to hoe. Um, Stockfish is giving him like a huge advantage, really huge advantage. And this is about where I would normally lose a game. Oh man. And Fisher comes out with all these attacks and stuff and would love to just mate. I guess that's mate. Wow. I don't know, but that was pretty incredible. That was pretty incredible. And we had some excellent brainwave. I really appreciate that you brought that game tonight. That was like really excellent. Oh, wait. I got a pizza delivery guy at the door. I'll be back in like exactly 1 minute. Hold on just a second. Hold on 1 second because I got a pizza delivery guy. I'll be back in like 1 minute. Hold on. Oh man, I got a pizza delivery guy. I got to get some pizza to get my nutrition back. Hold on a second. No, man, go ahead. I'm telling you, it's no problem. Just keep the change. No, about Twitch streamer. I got like plenty more where that came from. Don't worry about it. It's a big tip, I realize, but you deserve it. You work hard. Okay, so let me get back to the game here. Gameplay. That was great. That was an excellent game. I really couldn't believe how well Bobby Fischer played during all of that. So, without any more ado, let's see if our brainwaves are working really, really good and see if we can um, imitate any of those things we just saw. I'm going to create a game on Lichess, and we're going to be playing this game with brainwaves so that you can see the brainwaves in real time. This will be interesting. Sometimes I lose the games especially because I'm talking the whole time and responding to the chat and everything. I don't always win these games, but at least we get some excellent brainwave data. The brainwaves are on. And this is a Carol Can, by the way. And I always tell my viewers, I always say, if Carol can, you can too. And he kind of missed the opportunity to take that pawn, but that's okay for him, I guess. And if he takes this knight, it's okay with me. Okay, now look at that. He's challenging that. Just from experience, I know it's good to take that. I'm not going to analyze all of that. I just know kind of like from experience. And now let's see what's going to happen. Let's look at the position. Is this pawn available to attack? Let's just attack it and see if he defends it. If he doesn't defend it, oh, he defended it. So, what should we do next? We got to keep developing. We'll bring that bishop out to there. I don't even know if that's a good place for it. But we got to move, right? There's a lot of possibilities right now. I'm thinking that just from experience, I'm thinking that we should do this. It's a little bit unexpected. And at least it will open up this file. and we had to do that because he took the knight that was sitting there. We had no choice, actually. Wow, 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 wow. We'd like to take this, but we can't. This bishop's not doing anything, so I'm just going to move it out because it's not doing anything. And I'm afraid if I bring it up to here, it's just going to get attacked and everything, so I'm going to bring it back to there. He wants to get this pawn. I wonder if I can protect that pawn somehow. I think the best way to protect the pawn is not with the rook and not with the king. It's got to be with this bishop. That's the only way. Some people might say that was quick thinking, but probably it wasn't quick thinking. I got to exchange this rook now. And then hopefully, no, but then he'll bring, oh, if he brings the knight up, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm just thinking fast. I pinned my ridiculous king here, but, and now I can protect the pawn again. This pawn is like a big deal. Oh, man. Look at the brainwaves, huh? How high they're going. This is incredible. I never saw the brainwaves quite that high before. And they're all grouped up there at a very high plateau. If we win this, it'll be because of the brainwaves. Because actually, there's nothing else that that saves me at this point except the brainwaves. I would like to bring the knight up here, protecting everything. And if he takes me with a knight, I'll retake with this pawn. My queen ended up doing absolutely nothing over here, by the way. But it also helped me if I move this knight out to activate the queen over to this side. So we'll see if I can do that. He's taking a little bit of time on his clock, which is fine for him because he was ahead of the clock a lot for me. He's got almost equal time now. We got a kind of a stalemate on this white pawn here. Oh, he brought his rook all the way down. Okay, I'm not going to screw around with time. I'm going to just go up here. That's his only rook. You expect to see a rook over here, but there's no rook over there. And I said I was going to do that, so I'm just going to do what I said I was going to do because rather than waste time thinking. Would love to get an attack on the rook right now. That's about the best I can do, I think. Is bring the queen there. The queen was doing nothing here. It didn't have anywhere else to go. I'm going to bring it here because ooh, that was interesting. Except now he's threatening checkmate right here. Crap. Oh, no. Didn't even see that. He's threatening checkmate. And I can block with my bishop. And I can't checkmate him because he's got his bishop there. I gotta move this bishop out. That's the only thing. If I bring my bishop out here, I think that's the only move I can do. Okay, let's see what happens now. This is going to be interesting. He can't take my bishop because I'll put him in checkmate. He could have checkmated. Oh, he couldn't bring his queen up. Does my knight king have anywhere to go? Like here maybe? Here's the best place because he can't attack me with his queen. He can't attack me with his knight. If I brought the king over here, he could have attacked me with his knight, see? So it's better to move the king up here. When the king is next to a knight like that, it can't be attacked by the knight. You have to just remember that kind of stuff. Now I'm threatening to take his bishop. Should I just take his bishop then? What's this thing doing? I'm just going to take his bishop. This is a funky game. You're absolutely correct. I mean, he had like a lot of weird attacks on my king, but as it turned out, this pawn, a lot of people say he was out of position, except he was the exact right pawn because these two pawns in a row prevent his queen. You see how they prevent his queen from coming up? And he can't take this pawn because my queen is sitting here. Now I could put a check on him. Oh, you know what I should do right now? I should take his knight with my king if he lets me. If he moves his knight out of there, he needs to move his knight out of there. This is weird. He can take my rook over here, by the way, but then I come up here and he's almost got a checkmate. I don't think he wants to take my rook for that reason. Wow, funky, funky, funky. He's got 36 seconds and he went into. I'm just going to do this because I'm ahead on the clock now. I'm just going to play the clock. Um, Take this maybe? Ah, no, he's going to take this pawn. I'm just going to fucking play the clock. This is getting outrageous. I don't want him to take this pawn, see? Yeah, I thought he would do that. I'm going to come over here and threaten his knight and still protect this pawn. I got 55 seconds against his 21. If he does that, I'm going to take his knight. And he comes over there, okay. He can come up there, and I'm going to go here or there. Where should I go? Here. Maybe I did the wrong thing. This bishop is defended by the queen, by the way. And he's only got 7 seconds left to 40. I think I won this game. I can just throw away some moves now if I want to. I don't know, I'm just going to do that and then this. I always screw up here like this because this will be checkmate now if I do the right thing. Okay, so I just went on time there. I didn't know what I was doing right there at the end, to tell you the truth. It's just like a lot of stuff going on. And he's got these two pawns. Um, he's, yeah, I missed it. I realized that. I should have done that. Like I saw that like a second too late. You see, queen takes on h4. It's like, it was just like I completely missed it. Because you know what, to tell you the truth, I was just like into a different mode at the end. I was into the time mode, the clock mode, just trying to play down those seconds without getting checkmated. But let's go back just a couple of moves and see. Um, the queen takes h4. Yeah, yeah. You see right there, I came down here and I could have taken h4 right there, exactly right there. Should have done that. I can't. I don't know if I. Why can't I move them? Well, I guess I'm not doing the analysis board because. But let's do the analysis board, shall we? Let's do the post-mortem on this game. I think this was a pretty good game. We had excellent brainwaves. Are the brainwaves still showing? Yeah, they're still showing. Uh, we got them up there. Alpha, beta, delta, gamma. Look at the blue one. The blue one is the alpha. That was just incredible. So we got the brainwaves up. Let's do the post-mortem because I know it sounds like a kind of a macabre idea. And I hate to say that. Oh, wait, I don't want to go to a new game. Let me go back. Analysis. It sounds like a macabre idea, this thing about the post-mortem. Look at the stockfish. That's incredible. Look at that. Up and down, up and down, up and down. It's not like a professional level game, believe me, but it's like a normal elite chess game again among people about my level where we just make blunders and mistakes and more blunders. This was an amazing game. Look at the stockfish. 10 blunders by white. those are the red dots are the blunders, right? And then over here the red that's incredible. Look at that. Um, 10 blunders against 10 blunders, but hardly any mistakes, only one mistake. So both players were doing okay. Let's give them the advantage of the doubt that they didn't make a lot of mistakes. Can we say that? They didn't make a lot of mistakes, only one mistake on each side, right? We're not going to mention the 10 blunders. This was a great game. Let's switch. Let's just click through this really quick. We might get a follower or two out of this because it's an interesting game. This is a Carol Can, and I always say if Carol can do it, you can also do it. Oh, what did they do? They didn't play the Carol Can. I think they called that the French defense, but I think we're gonna just move through this thing and have a really good opening. You can see that white actually had a slight advantage in the opening, which is no big deal. I actually kind of like it. This was a good opening, by the way. When I see an opening like that, very level by white, I'm thinking I'll play that again. It was edgy. It was not very much at all by the book. And you can see the book disappeared here. There's no moves in the book. And so we're playing like a new game on the board. And even when I moved this, remember when I moved that pawn up and I said, well, I'm not sure if that's the right move, but it opens this. So it was solid. It didn't edge the stockfish at all. I was already at a slight disadvantage. Remembered when he did that and it looked like he doubled my pawns really seriously, but look, it was an actually mistake. He should not have done that. I guess I did not take advantage of it. I should have moved this pawn up for whatever reason. Why would I move that pawn up? I would never move that pawn up, but it says that if I move that pawn up, maybe it's because I avoid the knight coming up to here. Is that the only possibility? I don't know. It's a weird move to say to move that pawn up. And I brought the bishop back, and now you can see it's right back to 0, 0, 0 right now. Look at that. I got the mouse up here where you can see 0, 0. So we're into the middle game. We got doubled pawns, but we do have a positional advantage because we're at 0, 0. So we're not doing bad at all. Remember during the game, he was threatening to take that pawn and it looked dire. I moved the bishop back. I guess I should have, let me just go back one move. Yeah, I should have brought the knight over. It would have been better. I brought the knight over like one move later. I should have thought about protecting this pawn with the knight instead of the bishop. Because the bishop was not needed yet, and it unnecessarily disconnects the rooks. And this knight was not doing anything. It can't go there. It can't go there. It would have been a much better move to bring the knight over, and I didn't see that during the game because I was playing fast. And once again, we're still at 0-0. That was a bad move for the king, except he didn't see what to do. He should have brought the bishop back there, which is not a very intuitive move either. He brought the bishop up there, the knight up there. And now, look, black starts to get a huge advantage. Going down, 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 down for black. If you remember, I'm going to go back one move. If you remember during the game, I was talking about if he takes my knight, I take there. And this was actually good. Very, very, very strong position for black. So I was analyzing good during the game for that. And here's where I screwed up. During the game, I was talking about, well, I cannot really attack the rook. And I said, well, I'm going to bring the queen here because then I can bring it here and maybe get some attacks. But I should have brought it here. I didn't see that. If I look at the stockfish, if I had brought it there, I still would have had a completely won game, like 2.4 ahead. I didn't see that. It's kind of like a kind of a silent, quiet move. Would have been really a good move. Because I would have protected this pawn, see? And as it was, I didn't protect the pawn. I brought the queen back to there, and then he took the pawn. And now I made a mistake. I should have attacked his queen, because if he takes my rook, I get his queen. Ah, no, but that's weird. If I take his queen right now, he just takes me with the rook, and then I lose some stuff. I'm really behind right now, by the way. But instead of resigning, I just took there. He took there. I moved up. That's a double question mark, a blunder. I moved the king over there. Another blunder. It looks like logical for white to attack me in the corner and then attack me with the pawn, but I moved the king up, and now look at this. I'm ahead. This is a very interesting game. This is about where Satjak said a funky game, very funky game. And we just keep moving around, more blunders on both sides. This is crazy, 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 crazy. Look at the brown line here, but the brown line shows that now we're in definitely a dark position for. Oh, I missed that bishop move. I did that bishop move later, and I should have done it right now, but I moved the queen up. Then I did the bishop move like a move late. But I'm still ahead. And now he's doing something weird, and I'm ahead 10.7. And he resigned. Not bad, eh? That was actually a pretty good game on both sides. A lot of ups and downs, and a lot of good brainwave activity, by the way. Yeah, I agree with you. That's a LOL game. A real LOL. That was fun. It was excellent. And I appreciate all of my viewers tonight, all the first time chat. There was like some first time chat here. The first time chat said Control W. And I don't know if that was the first time chat to screw me up or what, but maybe it was in goodwill. But it really screwed me up completely. But we recovered from that. We said, well, it's a process that counts, and I think that was important to tell everybody that during life, it's not the destination that counts. Before we sign off here, let's go really quick to look at some. I want to do this because I've been thinking about doing this for several games. I want to look at famous quotes. Famous quotes. it's the process, not the destination. Because a lot of people get this confused in life. They think that the important thing in life is their destination and not the process, right? Like here's one you can see on my screen. I think you can all see that or not. Let me see if you can actually see that because I'm in the Twitch studio. Yeah, you can see it. So the good life is a process, not a state of being. It's a direction, not a destination. Now there's a lot more to that. Success is a journey, not a destination. The process is often more important than the outcome. And this is a very, people in the West don't even understand about the idea. Let me look at. There's a lot of stuff about this process thing. I want to look at this Brainy quote. Go to Brainy quote, and then we'll find some links from Brainy quote. So, a good life is a process. It's not a destination. Life is like John Lennon said. Life is what happens while you're busy making other plans. Life is about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. I'm going to put search here for the process because there's a lot of things from Zen, right? I don't know. How do we find this? I'm like really taking a long time to find this quote, but I don't know. But anyway, there's a lot of Zen stuff that says the process is the important thing, right? It's not the outcome. The outcome is in the future. The process is now. And like when we played that game, um, and we got that control W thing, and it really screwed us up. But we worked it out, and it was a fun process. So I guess I'll just end the night like that. Like I hope you guys thought it was educational and everything, because we try to be educational, not just about chess, but about Zen and about life. So hope you enjoyed it, and I guess I'll sign off. Yeah, LOL. That's it, man. That's what Zen is all about. It's just LOL. If you got that figured out, then you understand Zen. So let's thank you. Yeah. Cool. I was really glad that you came tonight and glad for everybody that came tonight. And it was a lot of fun. So I'm gonna sign off without any more ado in the stream. And good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Talk to you next time. Bye bye.